made the first turn, and I already got my truck down here, and I'm about halfway down this second leg here. I'm in really thick timber, so now I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cutting. So far I haven't cut anything. I've used the machine to break everything and push everything over. I'm really going to try to minimize the chainsaw work. That's one of the most dangerous things to do out here by myself. But I am going to have to do a little bit right up here. This area is just so thick. So you can see quite a bit of dead standing timber around. And I've got to be really careful that I don't knock one of these dead trees down and break it across the machine, cause damage to it, or hang up the hydraulic lines and the branches. There are a few big trees in here. Probably nothing that could crush this cab though. Pretty safe inside this cab. But yeah, you can see we can get that direction. But here I've got a jungle. So I'm just going to try to make a few cuts here and there. And what I'm going to do, just to minimize the chance for injury, is just cut like 2/3 of the way or maybe halfway through the cut and stop. And then the machine will break the log from there. The stuff I'm cutting is all this dead stuff on the ground. The standing trees I'll push over. Okay, here we are at the cabin site. Doesn't look like much now, but I've got to clear all these trees out of here, and I think I'm going to put the cabin kind of just right over in that area. So I don't want to pile up any brush down there. I think I'm going to try to grab it and bring it back and put it to the side back here next to the road. But there's some pretty nice green trees right here that I want to preserve those, have those kind of adjacent to the cabin. Good little place for a fire pit down here. You can see there's a few nice spruce trees, and it's not totally flat, but it's a little bit of a flatter area here that could be developed into a nice little fire pit. So the cabin would sit just beyond that. And so I've got a lot more cleanup to do and then some leveling, but the biggest challenge is going to be managing all this timber. I don't want to have piles of timber all around where the cabin's going to be. There's our property corner right there, so I'm just into the property, which is fine. Okay. Well, good morning. So this is Thursday of the second week of this project. So this will be the 10th day of road building. And the road is in, and I've been working on clearing the site where the cabin's gonna go. I've got probably another half a day to a day on clearing that site. So I'm hoping to sell this place probably in a year or two. Kind of the whole idea with this property from the beginning was just an investment. So over the years, I occasionally would buy a mining claim and put a small cabin on it, keep it and enjoy it for a little bit and then sell it. It's kind of like Flip This House, if you remember that show from 10 or 15 years ago. Flip This mining claim. So occasionally you can pick up a claim for a pretty good price. The first one I bought, when I first moved here, right after I moved here, I bought one in 2005. Put a small cabin on that and turned around and sold it. That one was on a little stream that had a tiny bit of gold in it. Most of the gold had been removed, obviously, but it was a placer mine, which is a place you would pan for gold. And I panned just a tiny bit out of there, so that was fun. But the next one I bought was the Emily C mine, and you've probably seen videos of that. So from where I'm standing right now, if you look off in the distance, kind of below that third peak from the right, that's about where that Emily C mine was. And that was another, well, that was a lode claim, a silver lead mine. And really neat property, hike in only when I bought it. So I would camp and hike in there and build this cabin using the logs from the land. And I've got a little video of that. Unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of video recording, but I took pictures, so I made a kind of a slideshow video of that you can find on my YouTube channel. So that was the second one I bought. Built that cabin and turned around and sold it. That one's actually for sale right now for quite a bit more money than I sold it for. Eventually a trail was put in with a Forest Service permit and sold it. Then that person ran into some trouble because another landowner who owned a parcel that a different road passed through that you had to use. Well, that new landowner, guy just came in and bought it after I had made that transaction with this man. Another guy bought a parcel and ended up blocking the access for this new owner, which is really unfortunate for him. And he went through a couple of years of trying to work through that with the Forest Service to build a different route, and under threat of lawsuit from this one person that the guy just didn't want him going into his own property. He was not a very nice guy. But anyway, that guy's finally given up and he's trying to sell it. And he's got a high price on it. So I don't know what's become of it as far as the access issue or what he's telling prospective buyers on that. But definitely access is a big deal when it comes to these mining claims. All these roads back here, they cross lode claims, patented mining claims, and for the most part, the main roads, if they're passing through a mining claim, they generally don't get blocked. This was a little bit of a side road, but still, there's risk. And the Forest Service is not really in a position to help with that other than possibly permitting you to build a new route around it, which is a big process in itself. Kind of what I went through to get this permit to build this stretch of road. Now, they were very good with me on getting this permit. This is the second time I went through the permit process. Different people this time. The first time, the people were good, but they were pretty obstructive. And they really tried to discourage me early on when I applied for the permit, and basically said they didn't have resources to process it, it would take forever, and there would be all these costs, and just kept trying to give me all the negatives. I told them I didn't care how much it cost or how long it took. I had plenty of time and I would do it. So once they realized that I wasn't going to give up, they finally started processing it. But I had to be persistent and call them often, and it still took about 2 years to get that permit. And I think I spent about $5,000 for biological assessments and archaeological reviews and those kinds of things. Interestingly, on this one, I was expecting kind of the same treatment, but it was really a night and day difference. They were very good. Came out and walked the road with me, very friendly. Processed it, and when it came time to pay the bill, I got the bill. In the same week, I got a refund from an overpayment from 5 years ago or more of the other permit. So somehow processing this permit triggered a refund from the other one. So it was pretty much the same price. So I kind of broke even this time. So anyway, enough about all that. So up here having my morning coffee as it's getting cold here. But I've been seeing quite a few elk on this hill over here in the mornings. A couple of different mornings I've seen elk up there. Had a ton of them on the trail camera when I left it down at the bottom over the last year. So where the cabin sits, a little bit of clearing behind it, or where the cabin will sit, I should say. Once there's some clearing done behind it, you'll have a good view of that hillside. And someone could probably shoot an elk right from the cabin on that hillside. So I think I'll have my coffee here. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I worked till 9 last night on the road or on the building site. So tomorrow or today I'll head on down in a minute and get to work. Getting pretty close. I'm picking up the trailer, the flatbed trailer I'm renting tomorrow. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And so Sunday I'm going to start bringing materials in here and pretty soon be ready to start putting this cabin together. So should be an interesting week next week. So tomorrow night I will be going home for a couple of nights to enjoy the Sabbath rest. And looking forward to that. But I tell you, it's been really nice camping up here. Such a beautiful spot. So peaceful up here. So fortunate to be able to experience this. I think the whole time I've been here, there's been one vehicle go by this road. It's just so quiet here. Looks like the wildfires died down quite a bit, but I imagine it's probably going to crank up again. There was an evacuation warning for Rimini yesterday. Now that fire is about 25 miles from here, roughly, so not too much danger that it's going to come over close to here. But surprising to have such a fire activity this early in the year. It's pretty unusual. Okay, well, enough talking. Time to get to work.